The skies over Ukraine have become a high-tech meat grinder, shattering the illusion of air superiority in modern warfare. What looked invincible on paper has been systematically picked apart by a brutal mix of Cold War steel and 21st century technology. From legendary strategic bombers to stealthy combat drones, this is the definitive, raw record of every major aircraft brought down in the Russia-Ukraine war. Sukhoi Su-25, affectionately known as the Frogfoot. This rugged twin-engine ground attack jet is the Soviet equivalent of the A-10 Warthog. Both Russia and Ukraine have bled heavily here, losing over 40 of these armored workhorses. Operating right in the dirt to provide close air support around hotspots like Bakhmut means flying straight into a wall of shoulder-fired MANPADS and mobile air defense systems. But thick titanium armor can only do so much when you are flying at treetop level. Sukhoi Su-24. The Fencer is a variable sweep wing tactical bomber built to penetrate enemy airspace at low altitudes. In the contested skies over Kherson and Crimea, nearly 30 of these aging strike platforms have been blasted out of the sky. Stripping away their low-altitude protection, modern surface-to-air missile networks have regularly intercepted these bombers during high-risk interdiction missions deep behind enemy lines. Sukhoi Su-27. As a heavy air superiority fighter designed to sweep the skies of Western aircraft, the flanker was never supposed to be vulnerable. Yet approximately 15 of these agile giants have been lost by both sides. Downed over regions like Zhytomyr and Kiev, most fell victim to intense and beyond visual range missile engagements and highly coordinated ground-based radar ambushes. Sukhoi Su-30. Russia's advanced multi-role fighter, the Su-30 is packed with thrust vectoring engines and sophisticated radar systems. However, at least 11 of these heavy fighters have been turned into smoking craters over Kharkiv and the Black Sea. Despite their advanced jamming pods, they frequently fell victim to ground-based tactical SAM batteries when flying complex low-altitude strike packages. Sukhoi Su-34. Known as the Fullback, this heavy strike fighter is Russia's premier platform for dropping satellite-guided glide bombs. But their reliance on these bomb runs has cost them dearly, with over 25 airframes confirmed destroyed near Avdiivka and Chernihiv. Ukrainian forces successfully set up mobile Patriot missile ambushes, catching these massive jets right as they lined up for high-altitude bombing runs. If you're finding value in this breakdown, please subscribe for more military tech analysis. Check out our channel for similar videos and share this with anyone interested in these high-stakes deployments. Sukhoi Su-35. The pinnacle of Russian fourth-generation fighter technology, the Su-35 Flanker E was built to dominate the sky. Instead, Russia has lost around 7 of these air superiority assets near Novokakhovka. Despite active electronic countermeasures, they were swatted down by sophisticated medium-range SAM networks, with some reportedly downed by panicking friendly air defense crews in the chaotic airspace. Mikoyan MiG-29. The agile Fulcrum has been the backbone of Ukraine's defense since day one, but it has paid a devastating price. Around 30 of these nimble fighters have been lost in action, particularly over heavily contested airspace like Mykolaiv. Most were hunted down by Russian long-range radar-guided R-37M missiles or lost in brutal, low-altitude dogfights, where pilot reaction time was the only safety net. Mikoyan MiG-31. The Foxhound is a twin-engine supersonic monster built to hunt down cruise missiles at Mach 3. While they rarely fly close to the front, Russia has lost at least 2 of these heavy interceptors. Most were caught sitting on the tarmac during Ukrainian ATACMS and drone strikes, targeting air bases in occupied Crimea, proving that even the fastest jets are sitting ducks on the ground. Tupolev Tu-22M. The Backfire is a swing-wing strategic bomber designed to rain cruise missiles down from high altitude. Russia suffered a massive psychological blow when Ukraine managed to down 2 of these giant bombers. One was famously swatted out of the sky over the Stavropol region by a heavily modified Soviet-era S-200 missile system, proving no asset is truly out of reach. General Dynamics F-16. The arrival of the Fighting Falcon was supposed to change the game for Ukraine, but it quickly faced the harsh reality of this war. Ukraine lost its first F-16 during a massive, coordinated Russian cruise missile and drone barrage. The loss highlighted the extreme dangers of operating Western tech fighters in an airspace saturated with endless threats. Dassault Mirage 2000. France's sleek Delta Wing fighter was integrated into Ukrainian service to bolster their standoff strike capabilities. However, the high-threat environment claimed at least one of these fighters near the southern front lines. Operating at low altitudes to avoid long-range S-400 radar systems left the jet highly vulnerable to localized, low-level air defense networks. Bayraktar 50. Losing a mainstay airborne early warning aircraft is like having your eyes gouged out in a fistfight. Russia suffered a devastating blow when Ukraine downed two of these multi-million-dollar radar planes over the Sea of Azov. Using a highly classified, long-range air defense ambush, Ukrainian forces pulled off one of the most significant aerial victories of the war. Ilyushin Il-22. Serving as airborne command posts, these heavily modified turboprops coordinate entire air campaigns. Russia has lost approximately 3 of these platforms, primarily near their southern borders. In a bizarre twist of fate, at least one of these critical assets was shot down by mutinous Wagner Group air defenses during their short-lived march on Moscow. Bayraktar A-100. The A-100 is Russia's next-generation AWACS prototype, a highly classified asset packed with developmental radar tech. In a daring saboteur operation, Ukrainian kamikaze drones struck the facility in Taganrog, severely damaging the prototype on the ground and delivering a massive setback to Russia's future air surveillance program. Ilyushin Il-76. This massive cargo plane is the logistical lifeline of the Russian military. At least 7 of these heavy transports have been destroyed near airfields in Belgorod and Kiev. Some were shot out of the sky by long-range SAMs while packed with troops, while others were incinerated on the ground by covert drone units operating deep inside Russian territory. Antonov AN-12. An aging 4-engine turboprop cargo plane, the AN-12 is used to haul heavy military gear to forward operating bases. Russia lost at least one of these airframes due to a mix of mechanical stress and hostile fire near border area airfields, highlighting the heavy toll continuous wartime logistics takes on older airframes. Antonov AN-22. The largest turboprop aircraft in the world, the AN-22 is a literal giant of military logistics. Russia's transport fleet suffered a permanent blow when one of these rare heavy haulers was destroyed during a precision strike on a military airbase, severely limiting Russia's ability to move oversized military hardware quickly. Antonov AN-26. This twin turboprop tactical transport is used by both sides to drop supplies and transport wounded troops. Roughly 10 AN-26 have been lost, shot down at low altitudes by shoulder-fired missiles while attempting high-risk supply runs to isolated frontline garrisons. Bayraktar BE-200. The BE-200 is a unique amphibious jet designed for search and rescue and maritime patrol. Its specialized nature didn't protect it. Russia lost one of these rare planes at a coastal base in Crimea after it was targeted by Ukrainian long-range strike drones. Arrow L-39. The Albatross is a jet trainer that both sides pressed into service as a light attack aircraft. At least 5 have been shot down near Zhytomyr and the Eastern Front. Lacking any modern defensive suites, they were incredibly easy targets for man-portable air defense systems during low-level patrol flights. Kamov Ka-52. Known as the Alligator, this coaxial rotor attack helicopter is Russia's most advanced gunship, but it has also been the biggest helicopter casualty of the war, with over 60 units lost near Robotyne and Kherson. They were repeatedly picked off by Ukrainian shoulder-fired missiles and, in some remarkable cases, blasted out of the air by infantry-operated Stugna-P anti-tank guided missiles while hovering too low. Kamov Ka-27. The naval variant Helix is built for anti-submarine warfare and search and rescue. At least 2 of these specialized choppers were shot down over the Black Sea while conducting search and rescue missions for downed Russian fighter pilots, falling victim to localized Ukrainian air defense systems. Kamov Ka-29. An armored assault transport helicopter, the Ka-29 was deployed to hunt down Ukrainian explosive sea drones off the coast of Crimea. During one of these high-stakes sweeps, at least 3 of these choppers were destroyed by a combination of man-portable SAMs and defensive fire from fast-moving patrol boats. MILMI-8. The HIP is the most widely produced transport helicopter in history, and it has been the workhorse of both armies. Over 40 of these massive transport helicopters have been lost near hotspots like Bakhmut, flying low over the tree line to avoid radar, as they frequently ran into MANPADS ambushes while executing high-stakes troop drops and medical evacuations. MILMI-17. an upgraded export-grade version of the MY-8. The Mi-17 features more powerful engines and better armor. Despite these upgrades, nearly 20 have been shot down across the Eastern Front, proving that no amount of armor can save a slow-moving transport helicopter from a direct hit by a modern radar-guided missile. MILMI-24. The legendary Hind is a heavily armored flying tank, famous for its intimidating silhouette. However, its reputation didn't save it from modern realities, with over 25 lost near Kharkiv. Their heavy armor was simply bypassed by highly accurate, shoulder-fired heat-seeking missiles during low-altitude rocket runs. MILMI-26. The Halo is the largest and heaviest helicopter ever built, capable of carrying over 80 combat-ready troops. This massive size also makes it an incredibly easy target. Russia lost at least one of these giants when Ukrainian forces caught it sitting completely exposed on a frontline military landing pad and destroyed it with a precision artillery strike. MILMI-28. Nicknamed the Havoc, this dedicated tandem-seat attack helicopter was designed to hunt tanks in the dark. But in the Donbas region, at least 13 of these heavily armed gunships have been brought down. Most of them had their tail rotors sheared off by portable air defense systems during close-range anti-armor sorties. MILMI-35. A modernized, export-focused variant of the Hind, the MY-35 features shortened wings and updated avionics. This didn't stop Ukrainian defenders from downing at least 8 of them during the early war assaults on Kyiv and Kherson, using well-placed MANPADS to target the helicopters as they flew along the Dnipro River. MILMI-2. This tiny Cold War-era light utility helicopter has zero armor and no defensive suites. Pressed into service by Ukraine for basic liaison and light transport duties, at least 3 were easily picked off by heavy machine guns and small arms fire while flying low-altitude routes over contested eastern territory. MYLMI-14. A specialized amphibious anti-submarine helicopter, the MY-14 is a rare sight. Ukraine lost one of these maritime platforms off the Black Sea coast when a Russian fighter jet intercepted it, highlighting the total vulnerability of rotary wing aircraft when caught in the open without fighter escort. Airbus H-225. The Super Puma was utilized by Ukraine for high-level government transport. In a massive tragedy, one of these high-tech helicopters crashed in dense fog in Brovary, killing Ukraine's Minister of Internal Affairs. The crash was a brutal reminder of the secondary dangers of war, where high-stress operational conditions lead to fatal navigation errors. Westland Sea King. Donated by the United Kingdom, the Sea King provided Ukraine with critical search and rescue capabilities. While conducting a high-stakes rescue mission near the southern coast, one of these legendary helicopters was targeted and destroyed by a Russian guided missile, ending its long service history in a flash of fire. Kronstadt Orion. This is Russia's equivalent to the American Predator drone, a medium-altitude, long-endurance strike platform. Because it is slow and has a massive radar signature, Ukrainian forces had no trouble tracking it. At least 6 of these drones were easily blown out of the sky over Kherson by medium-range surface-to-air missiles. Luch Korsar, a small tactical reconnaissance drone used by Russian forces to spot artillery targets. Multiple units of this scout drone have been downed in the Donbas after running into dense Ukrainian electronic warfare jamming, which severed their control links and caused them to crash land in Ukrainian-held fields. Forepost. Essentially a licensed copy of an older Israeli searcher drone, the Forepost is Russia's most expensive reconnaissance UAV. As over 15 of these large drones have been shot down near the southern front. Their lack of stealth features made them easy prey for Ukrainian fighter jets and mobile air defense batteries. QODS Mohajer. Imported from Iran, this twin-boom strike and surveillance drone was deployed by Russia to spot targets near Odessa. Ukrainian air defenders quickly adapted to the slow-moving drone, using a combination of rapid-fire anti-aircraft guns and shoulder-fired missiles to swat at least 6 of them into the Black Sea. Orlan 10. The Orlan 10 is the absolute workhorse of Russian artillery spotting, a cheap, composite-built drone launched via catapult. Because they fly constantly, Ukraine has shot them down in the thousands. Defenders use everything from specialized anti-drone jamming guns to basic MANPADS, and even pilots flying trainer aircraft have resorted to shooting them down with handguns. Enix Aileron. a small hand-launched reconnaissance drone used for close-range battlefield scouting. Dozens of these low-flying drones have been captured intact near Avdiivka after Ukrainian infantry deployed handheld anti-drone rifles, overriding their GPS signals and forcing them down. Sukhoi S-70. The Okhotnik B is Russia's highly classified, stealthy, heavy combat drone. In one of the most bizarre incidents of the war, Russia suffered a massive embarrassment near Konstantinovka when one of these stealth prototypes went completely rogue. To prevent the cutting-edge tech from falling into Western hands, an escorting Russian Su-57 fighter jet had to shoot down its own loyal wingman. Bayraktar. The Turkish-built TB2 drone was the undisputed superstar of the early war, destroying entire Russian armored columns on video. However, once Russia established its integrated air defense umbrella, the slow-flying drones lost their edge. Ukraine has lost over 20 of these famous UCAVs, mostly to Russian Buk and Tor missile systems. UA Dynamics Punisher, a small light strike drone designed by Ukrainian veterans to deliver pinpoint bomb strikes with a tiny radar signature. Despite its small profile, several have been brought down by Russian electronic warfare complexes, which blanket the front lines with GPS disrupting signals. If you're finding value in this breakdown, please subscribe for more military tech analysis. Check out our channel for similar videos and share this with anyone interested in these high-stakes deployments.